What's happening, everybody? Let's start again. Hi, I'm your host, Jason T. Smith, the Big Kahuna, and I'm making at-home tiki drinks, and this will be a first in a series, I hope. So, tonight, I'm bringing you cocktails straight from the Den of Sin. That is our home bar, and you will be seeing the Den of Sin logo again in a minute. What is happening? Don't edit. Yeah, I gotta edit that silence out. So I'm going to be making the Surf Room Mai Tai. Now, the Surf Room was in the Royal Hawaiian, which is, the only picture I got too is a book falling apart. Oh my. Ah. That is the Royal Hawaiian. It is the big pink palace in Waikiki Beach. It's been there for hundreds of years. And Trader Vic was the man who invented the Mai Tai. It's a little debatable. Some people say he kind of borrowed a drink from down the beachcomber and changed it, but I do believe he invented it. Whether he borrowed a little bit of it is up for debate, always will be. And a typical Mai Tai, his Mai Tai, is just a few ingredients: rum, curaçao, orgeat, lime, and maybe a little simple syrup. But the Royal Hawaiian Hotel in Waikiki hired him to make a different version of the Mai Tai that would highlight the juices of the island. And that's unfortunately where the downfall of the Mai Tai came to be. But his version is really, really good. And it's our home bar Mai Tai, so when we make the most. So that's what I'm making for you this evening. First thing you're gonna need is a double rocks glass, and preferably one with the Den of Sin logo. Glasses for sale very soon. And crushed ice. Now, typically when you shake a cocktail, you want to chill it, not dilute it. So a good mixologist will shake a cocktail with big chunks of ice. In the Mai Tai, because we have 3 ounces of rum, you want it shaken with crushed ice because it'll dilute it a little bit and even it out a little bit. So this is the time when you want crushed ice. So also, you want more ice than your glass will hold because it's going to dilute a little bit. So when you ship a package for eBay, you don't want to fill it right to the top. You want to fill it a little bit higher, so when you push it down, it locks it all in. Ice is the exact same way. So there is our ice. Oh, I love this song. All right, our first ingredient is 2 ounces, or 1 ounce of orange juice and 1 ounce of pineapple juice. I use the Dole Orange pineapple combo, so basically I got 2 ounces ready to rock and roll. Next is, the recipe calls for 1/2 ounce of lime juice, 1/4 ounce of lemon juice. We change it to all lime juice, so it's 3/4 ounce of lime juice. Delivery, please. And here is the key to any good cocktail: fresh squeezed limes, lemons if it calls for the drink, even orange. Pineapple is the only one that's too hard to squeeze, and everyone that runs a bar will tell you just buy quality unsweetened pineapple juice. But man, when it calls for lemons and limes, always fresh squeeze, no bottled stuff. It's crack. All right, the next 3 ingredients are 1/4 ounce of orgeat, which is an almond syrup. You can usually find it in the liquor store or the coffee aisle of your grocery store. 1/4 ounce of rock candy syrup or simple syrup. And I need to up my game on my orgeat. These Trader Vics aren't all that quality. But you also need 1/4 ounce of curaçao. This is a pretty good curaçao. It's an orange flavored liqueur. So 1/4 ounce of each of those. So it's 3/4 ounce total. I already have it all together to make the prep go easier. And now we're to the fun part, our rums. So when you make tiki cocktails, it doesn't just call for rum. It is very specific. Don the Beachcomber, and Trader Vic really figured out how to make rums play with each other. So it wasn't just rum. So this rum calls for 1 ounce of light Puerto Rican rum, 1 ounce of dark Jamaican rum, and 1 ounce of Demerara rum. All 3 different types of rums, and when combined together, work really well together. Now, this is what you commonly think of as Puerto Rican rum. I do not like Bacardi. This is a little too harsh. You could use Don Q. Don Q is pretty good, but I switched out Puerto Rican rum for Virgin Island rum, and I used Cruzan because Cruzan's nice and smooth. So 1 ounce of Cruzan. What's the shipping on one of those? Secondly is dark Jamaican rum. Now, this is kind of the norm. Pretty much anywhere you live, you can pick this up. A lot of rum drinkers don't care for Myers, but in this drink, it works really well. But tonight, I'm actually using Karuba. Karuba Dark's pretty good too. And then if I'm if I'm celebrating something, they don't make this anymore, I will use this 10-year Myers, which is called Legend, and it's pretty good. As you can see, the dust, I don't drink it too often, only for special occasions. So 1 ounce of the Karuba Dark. And then the last thing you need is a Demerara rum, which will probably be the toughest one to find. El Dorado 5-year is a perfect rum for this. I'm out of 5-year, so I'm going to step up my game tonight. I'm using El Dorado 15-year. So Demerara rum, dark Jamaican rum, and light Puerto Rican rum is what makes this an awesome Mai Tai. I've had many Mai Tai snobs at my house for Mai Tais, and they're like, I ain't drinking no Mai Tai with juice. And then I make this, and they're like, oh, that's good. So give it a good shake. All right, you should feel the shaker nice and cold on your hand to the point where you're like, whoa, geez. And then, there we go, get the glass out. And then, if we have a perfect pour, it should be right to the top, no spillage. Oh, dear, oh. Oh, dear. So it wasn't a perfect pour. I spilled a little bit. Now, the last key to a really good mixed cocktail, typically you would put in a couple plastic straws. If you want to up your game to the next level, you want a metal straw, because what happens is when you have the metal straw, every sip keeps it so cold. You would not think the journey from the bottom of the glass to the top of the glass in a metal straw would change it all that much from a plastic. It is amazing. Stace has had them in metal straws. She can tell you too. Oh, that is a damn good Mai Tai. So that, ladies and gentlemen, oh, I got some on my beard. That is how you make the Surf Room Mai Tai for the Royal Hawaiian. Vic made it for them. So it is a Trader Vic's Mai Tai. It is just not the classic Mai Tai. And since I haven't had a chance to check the chat, I will now check the chat and see if there's any questions I can answer about making cocktails, or especially this Mai Tai. Now, I know some of you live in not populous places, and you know, Vegas, we have lots of liquor stores, and you can buy liquor anywhere in Vegas. So it is easy for us to get all of these ingredients, sometimes not so much. So you might have to travel to big cities to get all the ingredients. Bob wants to know why I'm not putting the alcohol in first and the rest of the stuff. Actually, you should put the alcohol in first, but I just did it in reverse order. It's not how I set the bar up. So don't follow my lead on that one. Put the rum in first. Now, you should garnish it. I did not pick up any garnish today because I actually have to go play poker in 30 minutes. So I totally forgot I was doing poker tonight when I set up this little demonstration. So I was hustling to get this done. So no garnish as of right now. But it is yummy. Now, we will do a regular Mai Tai down the road, and I'll probably bust out some special rum for that. These are kind of like, these are normal for the most part. Easy to pick up and kind of workhorse rums for your Mai Tai. But if you're going to have a celebration, sometimes you go to the top shelf and you bust out a special rum. So, any question? Oh, so yeah. I have seen a Mai Tai with a creamy top. What makes it creamy? Yeah, I'm glad you said that. If you have a Mai Tai that has anything red in it, that's grenadine, that is not a Mai Tai. So what happened was they made this Mai Tai for the surf room, and it's really good. But at some point over the last 30 years, it got so bastardized that it's like pineapple juice with a little bit of clear rum and then a float of dark rum with grenadine. It's horrible. So typically, if you say, hey, is there grenadine in your Mai Tai? And they say yes, run far away. Run far away. That part's bad. But luckily, people are starting to realize that a lot of the Mai Tais in Hawaii aren't all that good. And so a lot of the places in Hawaii are up in their game to make better Mai Tais. What? Oh, so you see something creamy and frothy? Other than, like, you know, when I put a good shake on it, I've got a little froth. But if you're seeing something more than that, speak up. Come on. What? Oh, yeah. Well, they make it some fancy way.
Or maybe that's what they're talking
No, they're not. They're not. So yeah, you should have a little froth with a good hard shake, and you should shake it, you know, a good hard shake. Like I said, this should be cold to the touch. All right, any other questions? Man, I can tell you, the internet trolls that follow me around that don't like me, don't even like watching cocktails being made. Who gave me a thumbs down? Huh? Yes, I have not figured out a mocktail recipe yet for this week's Tiki webinar for the Secret Beach, but I will. But for those of you who are making this cocktail, I know some of you are out shopping today for ingredients. We might have to switch up some things if you can't find, especially like the Demerara rum. I can give you some alternatives. So in the Secret Beach, if you want to hit me up, I will be more than happy to help you find a decent alternative. Because once you change a rum, it's really not the drink you're supposed to be making. But I fully understand in times of need, you got to switch some things out. We've done it here in the house. We go to tiki events where sometimes you run out of something at a room party. A friend's got something else that's pretty close, so you just start making it with that. Yeah, it's pretty good, probably. Using the Appletons as a sub for the Demerara, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. But there's different Appletons too, so you know, there's the bottom entry level, and then as you work your way up, they get a little more rich in flavor and a little smoother too. Probably not a good group discussion. What, cocktails? So yeah, the next Tiki webinar for the Secret Beach is a week from Wednesday, and we'll have a special guest, my mom, who's in the chat. Hi, Mom. Woo! So, there's not any more questions. I'm going to say aloha from the Den of Sin. Thank you for tuning in for our first cocktail making lesson. I'm sorry about the sound at the beginning, but we will do it better next time. And we will be doing, we'll do Zero Special next. I'm going to go way back. I'm going to pick up one of my favorite cocktails, 1940s, not even really a tiki cocktail, but it is rum-based. Oh, by the way, I want to give a shout out to my boy, Beach Bum Berry. The recipe came out of this book, his book called Intoxica. Beach Bum, and we're going to talk about him later on. He pretty much is the man who revitalized the tiki cocktail culture and wrote the books on lost recipes. So the Surf Room Mai Tai is in this specific book where I get it out of. And Zero Special is out of one of his books too. So look around the interwebs and find books by Beach Bum Berry if you want to make some of these cocktails. And they're easy. They're written up pretty well. Tells you exactly what you need and tells you also how to make it. It'll tell you if you're shaking it with cubes or with crushed ice, and also what kind of glass, because that's the other little trick. Not every drink goes in the same glass. This is a Mai Tai glass, but for the Zero Special, we're going to be using something like this. Ooh, that's dusty. But so if you don't have the right glassware, that's cool. We do have a full bar here, so we have all the right glassware. But make do with what you have, because it's all about enjoying the cocktail. So don't fret too much if you don't have the right glassware. That is the least important part in this whole cocktail scheme. It is getting the right ingredients, mixing them well, and then enjoy. All right, so for that, I'm going to say aloha, and we'll see you around Facebook. Bye, everybody, and YouTube. See ya.